everyone, and welcome to my channel. In this tutorial, we are going to create a logo animation similar to the one you encountered, so stay tuned. To begin, let's first open Inkscape software in order to change the PNG image file into SVG file format. In essence, converting the PNG image to SVG file before importing it into Blender helps to streamline your workflow and provide more flexibility in editing and scaling your assets within the software. Go to Path and select Trace Bitmap. Check Invert Image to switch the logo color to black and the backdrop to white, which is basically a transparent space. Make a few adjustments before exporting the file. Then, choose the name and file directory and export it in SVG format. Double-click the Blender software to open it. Then select General to open a new workspace. Click a key to select all, then X to delete them. To activate the use of numpads, navigate to Preferences, then Input, and enable it. Again, under Preferences, enable the SVG add-on to allow the import of SVG files. Go to File, then import the SVG image by following the directory wizard. Click Numpad 7 for top view of the workspace. Click As to scale the image to size and click Enter. Go to Object and change its origin to geometry. Click Alt-G to reset the object's location to center. Under the Object's Properties panel, rotate it to 90 degrees on the X-axis. Then click Numpad 1 for front view. Click G and Z keys to adjust the logo vertically. Let's delete the existing material to enhance visibility. Extrude the object to make it thicker by navigating to Geometry in the Data Properties panel. As can be seen, the logo's edges are very sharp, giving it an unnatural angular appearance. Therefore, beveling will help to smooth out the sharp edges, making objects appear more realistic and less angular. Let's add an edge split modifier on the object. By adding an edge split modifier to beveled edges, you can enhance the definition of the edges, making them appear more distinct and visually appealing. Continue tweaking until you achieve the desired appearance. Click Numpad 1 for front view. Click Shift-A or go to Add Menu and select Text Object. Under the Object's Properties panel, rotate it to 90 degrees on the X-axis. Change the text alignment to center. Click the Tab key to enter Edit mode and begin typing the contents of the text. Once you have concluded, click Tab again to return to Object mode. Click on the text to select it, then press the G and Z key to grab and move it to position. Click S to scale it and enter. To change the font, navigate to the Font panel in the Properties panel and click the folder icon next to the font drop-down to browse the font stored on your computer. Extrude the text object to make it thicker. As can be seen, edges are very sharp, giving it an unnatural angular appearance. Therefore, beveling will help to smooth out the sharp edges, making objects appear more realistic and less angular. Let's add an edge split modifier on the text object to enhance the definition of the edges, making them appear more distinct and visually appealing. Continue tweaking until you achieve the desired appearance. Repeat the steps with the second text object. To animate the text objects, we are going to change some of their properties. First, let's convert the text object to a mesh object. Then, in Edit mode, select specific texts and separate them. To select each text precisely, switch the viewport mode to wireframe and ensure all vertices are selected. Click the P key and choose Separate Selection to separate the text object. Go into Object mode and rename the separated text. Rename the text collection as well to make it more organized. Repeat this process until all texts have been separated. Once you've completed the text separation, press Ctrl-ES to save what you've done in case the Blender crashes. To add material to the objects, select the shading menu to open the Shade Editor window. Click New to add material nodes, then name it Logo. You may now use the options in this node to change the material's features such as base color, metallic, and roughness. Let's now copy the logo material to the text objects. Click the Material Properties drop-down, the sphere icon, and select the logo material. With the material slot selected, click the Copy Material button. This button resembles two overlapping squares with an arrow going from one to the other. Repeat the step to keep copying the material. Once done, switch to Layout mode and add a camera to the scene. To adjust the camera to the current view, press Ctrl-Alt-Numpad 0. Make camera transformation adjustments to set the camera view to the proper viewpoint. Add lights to the scene and enable Render Preview for a more precise scene appearance. Then begin adjusting the lights for proper scene lighting. To animate every object, select the object you wish to animate and scroll to the frame where you want the animation to begin. Then modify the object's properties that you want to animate. For example, you can move, rotate, or scale it. Once you have made your changes, press the I key on your keyboard. This opens the Insert Keyframe menu. Select the type of keyframe you want to set. This will add a keyframe to the current frame for the selected property. click Shift-A to add empty cube and adjust it. Select camera, then empty, and click Control-P to parent them. Now, the camera will move, rotate, or scale in accordance with how you move, rotate, or scale the empty. Therefore, we will use these properties to animate camera movement in the scene. Select the empty, then go to the timeline and select all keyframes. Click T and select linear interpolation. This helps achieving smooth, controlled, and visually pleasing camera motion in the animation. Now go to Render Properties panel and modify your final render features. For more realistic render, use Cycles engine. I will use Eevee engine for my render. Go to Scene Output Property and adjust camera resolution, output path, and file format. Once done, go to Render menu and select Render Animation and wait for the render to complete.